Hello, Politics 1A. This is Professor Graham speaking, and this is the exam scope for the 2018 Politics 1A June exam on the 4th of June at 8:30 till 10:30 in the morning. The venues will be confirmed on your portals, so you can check closer to the time where the exam will take place at ABK and Soweto campuses simultaneously. For my section of the exam, which will only be out of 50 marks, you'll need to cover 3 lectures, or 3 themes. So please make sure you use your study guide and all the accurate page numbers that reflect these 3 themes when you're preparing for the exam. We begin with Lecture 4, which is all about politics and the state. What might be important about this lecture is that you are familiar with debates in history about statehood. So the Israel-Palestine debate might feature as a short question only. Small island developing states, remember I went over what the African SIDS are. So you must know Mauritius, the Seychelles, the Comores, Sao Tome and Principe, Guinea-Bissau and Cape Verde, or Cabo Verde. You must know those. It could come out as a possible short question. I could definitely ask you about the primary features of the state, to at least list all 6 of the features as they appear here. So not based on any other features of the state you may have studied in other courses, but these 6 based on the political definition of the features of the state. You must say it has territorial association. You must say state institutions are public. Half of these explanations is not the whole and will not be considered for mark, any kind of mark. So you must have the full information. Remember that international recognition is probably one of the most important features, classic features of the state. Then remember we looked at South Sudan as the newest African state born in July 2011. South Sudan, this is the whole of Sudan, this is now Sudan, and this red section here is South Sudan. It might be important that you know that South Sudan was the first or the last African state to have or obtain statehood. I could ask you as a short question to name one of the territories that does not have any United Nations recognition. That would be these 3 here that we discussed in class. Or to name at least one state recognized by one or more UN member states, but not all member states, and Palestine might be the best example of that. Remember we discussed Palestine having non-member observer state status at the United Nations. This is quite important for the exam. I could ask you the difference between the states and a government, or you should be able to recognize or align or match certain explanations to either the state definition or to the government definition. So please make sure you know all 5 of these points. Rival theories of the state will feature probably as short questions. So you might have to know what the explanation is for a pluralist state, a capitalist state, a Leviathan state, and a patriarchal state, and be able to align or match explanation with a type of state. I could give you a number of different options of this type of state, and you have to align with the correct explanation. The same might be very easily true for the role of the state in society. Does the state play a minimum role? Is it a developmental state, and what might that mean? What does a social democratic state mean? You have to know these 2 features of the state, Keynesianism and social welfare. You should know what a collectivized state is and what it means, control over economic life, versus totalitarian states, which is all-encompassing control. And that's the main difference between those 2. Religious states, what they might be seen as, an example of those could feature as short questions. The states in a global era would never feature as an essay question in this exam, possibly a short question, nothing more. Maybe, for example, how warlordism might be associated with failed states, but nothing as a long essay question. So that's quickly Lecture 4. If we move on now to the media and Lecture 5, this is quite important, this lecture, for essay questions in the exam in particular. So, A basic understanding of the media and political communication is important, but won't be specifically examined in this exam. What is important is the theories of the mass media. So it might be useful for you to understand how to match some of these theories with lines of explanation. Or, if this was an essay format, I might say, name and describe or briefly discuss 2 of the theories of the mass media for 10 marks or something. And then you'd have to give at least 5 lines of explanation for each of the 2 models I give you. So it's important that you reflect on what the pluralist model means, what the dominant ideology model means, what the elite values model is all about, and the market model. Very importantly, as an essay question, even perhaps out of 20 marks, would be how can the media promote democracy in 4 key ways? Here are the 4 key ways, so you might get a mark for at least being able to name each of these 4 key ways, but then you'd have to give at least 4 lines of explanation on each of those 4 key ways with examples. Remember, I am likely to give bonus marks if you've proved that you've consulted the text and really understand what you're talking about. So all of this is important as examples, as explanation for these key ways that the mass media can promote democracy. We then moved on to the mass media and governance, and there were 3 key ways in which the media has transformed the processes of governance. Remember these discussions? This might feature as a short essay question for 8 marks, or maybe even a 5-mark essay question, a short essay question, or short questions like name or in which process or transformation has celebrity politics featured, and then you just have to align it with this heading, the transformation of political leadership, something like that. So just basically know what each of those 3 points means and what the definitions or explanations are for each of those 3 points. Media and globalization would only feature ever as a short question. It's not going to be examined in essay format. And propaganda and spin might only feature as short questions or definition questions in the exam. Nothing more than that. Then just as a reminder, I did explain this in class last Friday, but for politics, political parties and politics, what might you have to discuss in the exam? Well, it's important that you know the definition of a political party, absolutely. Very important that you know the functions of political parties too, as a possible essay question, and that includes the functions of small opposition parties. Financing of parties might feature only as short questions, at least in the June exam. Perhaps if you're intending to be sick in the June exam, there might be a longer essay question on this in the supplementary exam in July. I'll never ask you to give specific information around statistics. This won't feature as short questions at all, just for your interest to see the different types of profiles. And remember that political parties and women won't feature in this June exam, but might be important for those of you interested in the subject as an honours long essay, if you intend to do honours later on. And then lastly, party systems are absolutely essential as short questions or perhaps a longer essay question in the supplementary exam in July. But for the June exam, short questions, you'll be able to identify, for example, the Convention People's Party, which was the Ghana Party, Nkrumah's party, as an example of an anti-colonial nationalist one-party system in Ghana. Or the Chinese Communist Party as a one-party system in China. Just be able to know what different types of party systems are and examples of countries that might be linked to those parties or party systems. Remember that the ANC is an example in this case of a dominant party system. There are 5 reasons here indicating why it might be seen as an unhealthy system. That could feature as a short question perhaps. List the 5 reasons why the dominant party system is seen as unhealthy. And then the multi-party system, which is basically coalition parties. So this is the scope now that's available from today, which is the 25th of March, up until the day of the June exam on the 4th of June. So this exam scope also features for the supplementary scope in July. I wish you well for the rest of the semester and best of luck for your exams. One last point. When the semester marks are out by the 18th of May, it is your responsibility to double check that all of your marks from the whole semester are reflecting accurately. You have 7 days to do that checking. If by the time you write the exam any of the marks are inaccurate, that is your responsibility to check and no marks can be corrected thereafter. So you have 7 days to check that your semester mark is reflecting accurately. Regardless of error, nothing can be changed thereafter. Please take the time to check all your marks are reflecting. Thanks very much, Politics 1A. Good luck for all of your exams.